In today's tutorial, I'll show you how to generate videos automatically using this automation. This workflow transforms any link into a ready-to-publish video. You can use it for news, product pages, listings, blog posts, or landing pages. You simply provide a link and a voiceover text, and in a few seconds, the automation creates a scrolling video with subtitles and prepares it for publishing. For example, when something is launching or major news breaks, you can use this automation to create a video in seconds. In less than a minute, the video is generated and published across your channels, giving you a real competitive edge by being first, while others are still editing. Later in the tutorial, I will give you some ideas on how to use this automation. You'll see how, the moment news is published, you can turn that page into a video almost instantly, helping you move faster, stay ahead of the competition, and capture more attention. At this point, I want to showcase a quick demo so you can see how the final video actually looks. OpenAI has announced ChatGPT Health, a new health experience inside ChatGPT. It allows users to securely connect medical records and wellness apps to better understand lab results and prepare for doctor visits. OpenAI says health data stays private, protected, and separate from other chats, with a waitlist now open. Take a moment to watch this example and notice the scrolling animation, the subtitles, and how clean the final result is. Later in the video, I'll show you another example as well. This time, I'll also walk you through some practical ideas on how you can use this automation for different types of content, not just news. For now, let's continue with the workflow. First, let's start with Airtable, which will act as the database for this automation. For this workflow, you need to create an Airtable base with the following columns. The first column is URL, and its type should be a URL field. This is where you'll store the link to the content you want to turn into a video, whether that's a linking to a news article, a product page, a blog post, or any other web page. The second column is Publish on Socials. This field is a single select with two options, yes or no. I've set the default value to yes. If you don't want the automation to automatically publish the video to your social networks, simply change this value to no. Next, we have the VoiceOver text column. This should be a long text field. Here's where you add the script that will be used to generate the voiceover for the video. You can generate this text using ChatGPT based on the content of the page, but I've intentionally left this step manual, so you have full control over what gets published. One important note: the final video should be no longer than 30 seconds, so keep the voiceover text short and concise. The next column is called Sound, and it's an attachment field. This is where the generated voiceover audio will be stored. In this automation, the voice is generated using 11 labs via the FAL.ai API. After that, we have the sound length column, which is a number field. Here we store the duration of the generated audio in seconds. The next three columns are also attachment fields. The first one stores the scrolling video generated from the web page. The second stores the scrolling video with sound, where the voiceover is merged with the video. And the third stores the final video with subtitles. Next, we have the social post column. This is where a single social media caption is generated using OpenAI and later distributed across your social networks. Finally, we have the published column. This is a single select field with yes or no, and it helps track whether the content has already been published. Up to this point, this Airtable base acts as the control center for the entire automation. Now let's walk through how this automation works. If you're a member of our Skool community, you can download this automation directly from the classroom. You'll also have access to all the automations we've released so far. This is automation number 51, and it's designed to help you streamline content creation and potentially turn it into real revenue. Once you download the file, go to N8N, click on the three dots in the top right corner, and select Import from File. Now let me show you the workflow. The first node I recommend using is On-Form Submission. In this form, you only need two fields, the link, and the voiceover text. Once the form is submitted, the automation automatically inserts those values into Airtable. Right after that, I'm using a set node. Here, you'll add two values, your FAL.ai API key and your Screenshot1 API key. The next node is Airtable, Create Record. This is where the submitted data is saved in your Airtable base. I'll open this node so you can see exactly how it's configured. From here, the workflow splits into multiple sections. In the first section, we generate the voiceover audio. This section consists of 5 nodes. The first node is an HTTP request. This node sends the voiceover text to the FAL.ai API, which handles the text-to-speech generation. I'll open this node so you can copy my settings exactly and avoid any issues. The next node is a wait node. Here, I've set a delay of 50 seconds to give the voiceover generation enough time to complete. After that, we have another HTTP request node. This one is used to retrieve the final audio file generated by FAL.ai. Once the sound is ready, the next node is Airtable, Update Record. Here, we save the generated voiceover audio directly into the corresponding Airtable row. The last node in this section is another wait node. This is important because Airtable sometimes needs a few seconds to finish updating the record before the workflow continues. Now, let's move on to the next section, getting the metadata for the sound. The first node in this section is an HTTP request. Here, I'm using the FFmpeg API from FAL.ai to extract metadata from the audio file. As you can see, the settings are very straightforward, so I recommend simply copying them exactly as shown. Next, we add another wait node to give the process enough time to complete. The third node in this section is another HTTP request. For this one, you'll use the correct request URL and append the ID returned from the previous HTTP request. After that, we use an Airtable, Update Record node. Here, we store the audio duration in seconds inside the sound length column. Once again, we add a wait node, this time set to 7 seconds, to make sure Airtable finishes updating before moving forward. Now let's move on to the next section, where we generate the animated scrolling screenshot. For this, we'll use Screenshot1. The first node is an HTTP request, and I recommend copying my settings exactly. You'll notice there are many available options here. I suggest checking Screenshot1's documentation if you want to customize the scrolling behavior further. The next node is Google Drive, Upload File. Here we take the generated video URL and upload it to Google Drive. After that, we use a Share File node to update the file permissions, making the URL accessible for the next step. Next, we update Airtable once again. This node saves the scrolling video file in the corresponding attachment column. Finally, the last node in this section is another wait node, set to 10 seconds, to ensure everything is fully processed before continuing. The next section is Merge Video and Audio. In this part of the workflow, I'm using the same FFmpeg API from FAL.ai to combine the scrolling video with the voiceover audio. The first node is an HTTP request. Here, you need to map both the audio file and the scrolling screenshot video as inputs. I recommend copying these settings exactly to avoid any issues. After that, we add a wait node to give the rendering process enough time to finish. Next, we use another HTTP request node to retrieve the completed video with the audio merged in. Once the final video is ready, we move to Airtable, Update Record. Here, we save the merged video into the appropriate attachment column. And finally, the last node in this section is another wait node, ensuring Airtable finishes updating before the automation continues. The last section of this automation is adding subtitles. Subtitles are extremely important because many users scroll through social media without sound. By adding dynamic subtitles, you increase attention, retention, and overall engagement. In this section, I'm using 5 nodes. The first node is an HTTP request. Here, I'm using the Auto Subtitles API from FAL.ai. This part is very powerful because you have full control over how the subtitles look. You can customize the font size, colors, background, positioning, and more. After that, we add another wait node. I've set this one to 50 seconds to make sure the subtitle generation process fully completes. Next, we use another HTTP request node. This one is very simple. You just need to use the correct request URL and pass the request ID from the previous HTTP request. Once the final video with subtitles is ready, we use Airtable, update record. Here, we save the finished video into the final video column. And finally, the last node in this section is another wait node, ensuring everything is fully processed before the workflow ends. Now that the video is completed and stored in Airtable, the automation moves to an if node. This node checks a value directly from Airtable. If publish on social is set to yes, the workflow continues and publishes the video automatically to your social networks. If it's set to no, the automation stops here, and you can upload the video manually whenever you want. If the condition is met, the next step is OpenAI. Here, I generate the text for the social media post. You can use any model you prefer. In my case, I'm using GPT-5 Mini, but you can switch to the latest model if you like. At this point, pause the video and copy my prompt. Of course, you're free to customize it to match your own tone or audience. Next, we update Airtable again. This node stores the social post generated by OpenAI in the appropriate column. After that, the workflow connects to Blotato. If you've been following this channel for a while, you already know I've been using Blotato for a long time. I've added a sign-up link in the description. It's an affiliate link and helps support the channel, but you can absolutely use Blotato without it if you prefer. The first Blotato node is Upload Media. Here, we take the final video link from Airtable and upload it to Blotato's servers. The next Blotato node is Create Post. In this step, you select the platform and the account you want to post to. I won't go into detail here, since this process is already covered in previous videos on the channel. What's important is that you map the post text from Airtable or OpenAI and the media URL from the previous Blotato node. Finally, the last node is Airtable Update Record. Here, I mark the status as published. This step is optional, but it's very useful for tracking what's already live and what's not. The nodes at the bottom follow the same logic, but they're configured for a different platform. Now, take a look at the previous example to see how the final video looks once it's published. Now I want to show you how this automation works in practice. First, we go to the workflow and click Execute Workflow. As soon as we do that, a new web page opens. Here you need to insert a link. You can use any link you want. In my case, I'll use a link to one of my own products. Next, I add a short description. This text was generated with ChatGPT and will be used as the voiceover. Then I click Submit. As you can see, the automation starts running immediately. While it's processing, let me give you a few ideas on what you can create with this system. You can use it to promote your own products, just like in this example. One of the most popular use cases is promoting online news, especially when something launches. Because the video is generated so fast, you gain a big advantage by being early. You can also use it for affiliate marketing. Create the video, publish it on your social networks, and include your affiliate link to generate revenue. If you have local listings or products you're selling in your country, you can use this automation to promote them and potentially sell faster. Another option is to promote other people's content while driving traffic back to your own website. Or you can simply use it to grow your social media presence and increase views with consistent video content. If you have more ideas, let me know in the comments. How would you use this automation? And if you're a member of the community, feel free to share your ideas there as well. Now, let me show you the final result from my product so you can see how the video looks. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to download this automation, along with more than 50 others, you can join the Skool community. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Need the perfect Valentine's graphics? Get the Sumo Bundle Cute Animals collection. You get 620 adorable